Shohei Ohtani has just signed a record-breaking 10-year, $700 million contract with the Dodgers. But how did we get here? Today, I just want to relive the Shohei Ohtani Sweepstakes and take a brief recap at how the Dodgers landed their guy. Heading into the 2024 offseason, there was a variety of talent. Between the elite pitching and the great proven bats, there was a lot of talent to go around. But none of these guys were even close to the level of hype Ohtani's decision would bring. Shohei Ohtani did his best to keep private about all things free agency, but what we did know is he wanted to be on a team with a big market, preferably on the West Coast, and most of all, a team that gives him the opportunity to win it all. Almost every team found themselves in conversation for Ohtani, but we really narrowed it down to a few teams. Heading into the offseason, it was the Cubs, Rangers, Giants, Dodgers, Angels, and Blue Jays. And of course, the Yankees and Mets are always thrown in there somewhere. The Dodgers, however, were still the favorite to go out and get Ohtani, but the Cubs were making a huge surge. Shohei to Chicago wasn't just a long shot because this would make perfect sense for the Cubbies. But of course, there was still that probability that Shohei would just stay with the Angels. But for now, for pre-winter meetings, all we had to do was just read tweets, speculations about who may or may not be quote-unquote in on Ohtani. But nonetheless, we knew that the decision would be one of the most hyped free agency signings in sports history. But now we were officially heading into the winter meetings where stuff would go down and we would eventually see Ohtani land his decision. The winter meetings came and we eventually learned that the Cubs were officially out of contention for Ohtani. Or at least that was what was reported by an MLB reporter. Like, we don't really know. The Cubs still could have been way in on him. Teams like the Rangers, Phillies, and Red Sox, who were previously in contention for him, were kind of now out of the debate as we narrowed it down to the Blue Jays, Giants, and Dodgers. I mean, all three of those teams will be great fits for Shohei Ohtani, but one of them has to land him. But people were getting a bit restless, going above and beyond to get more insight on the signing because Shohei just wasn't saying anything about it. People even began to track flights to see where Ohtani was going on some stalker type activity. It's not that serious. But oh wait, it is that serious because this is a face of baseball. It was reported that Shohei's flight was heading to Toronto. It was even confirmed by the MLB that this flight was going to Toronto. So it led me to think that Shohei Ohtani is going to the Blue Jays and the Blue Jays are getting the best player in baseball. But then things got even more interesting when Jordan, I'm going to completely butcher the last name, so I'm not even going to attempt it, got sent this. The guy walking off the plane isn't Shohei Ohtani. That is not Mr. Ohtani there. That is this guy from Shark Tank. You may recognize him. Robert Hesovich, I think that's how you say his name, but yeah, it was this guy coming off the plane. Another year, another catastrophic failure by MLB reporters. This rivals Arson Judge. And by this point, everyone was clowning on this on Twitter. They had Shohei going everywhere to all these random teams. Jeff Passan was making fun of it. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, even after some people reported that Ohtani was headed to Toronto, that was not the case whatsoever. But with this whole Blue Jays thing, people were starting to forget about the Los Angeles Dodgers. What happened to them? Who threw them out of the equation? there was still a chance for the Dodgers, the Giants, and even the Blue Jays to get Ohtani, even after the whole flight situation. But then, on a Saturday afternoon, the sweepstakes had to come to an end, as an Instagram post with a low-quality image of the Los Angeles Dodgers logo would change baseball forever. 10 years, $700 million confirmed by Shohei Ohtani. The deal was official, and this would completely break baseball. But I think it's safe to say whether this signing pays off or whether it blows up in the Dodgers' faces, that the Shohei Ohtani Sweepstakes will forever be in the baseball history books.